from a long time ago, and it, I think, makes sense here. They do pick it up. So they put in the Gatatkacha afterwards. So I like how Bigetron has responded, and then they already have 3 good meta hero picks. They close it out with a Gatatkacha, which is more of a stabilizer for their lane. It's a reliable response to the Luyi because you have a lot of distance that you can cover. In case there will be a diversion, an Avatar of the Guardian can be there to save them. So it's a really good way to approach this draft against Onic. I really like the 5 heroes that they built now. Onic, how will they close this out? They need some sort of reach and some sort of burst. There's the reach, the burst.
I was gonna say, is this the reach though? She's got like the shortest range in the
already okay. The only problem though that I'm gonna say about Onic, and this also pertains to reach, is that there is no legitimate threat to the Novaria. That's why I felt like the Novaria was a good last pick for BTR. I also predicted that it will be the case. If you're looking at this Moreno Novaria, this guy is gonna have the easiest game out of all of the people in the lobby right now, because there's not much reach.
Well, let's find out. We're jumping into it. It's game 1 here in this best of 5 grand final. Games of the Future 2026. Will Onic end up being champions once again? Or will Bigetron by Vitality make something happen here? Already in the mid lane, a little bit of action. Of course, poking back and forth. There's only so much that can be done. I feel like early game with the Novaria, but still, no battle spell is actually going to be expended just yet.
Yeah, pretty chill about it. It'll be curious how Onic will, how BTR will utilize this lineup that is really front-facing against Onic. Apart from the Novaria, everybody wants to dive in front of Onic. And Onic, they do have 2 tanky dudes, but they only have 1 tool to really hold down BTR. And that is this Wrath of the Dryad, which means that Suns will have a lot of responsibilities with a duality being procced. Granted, the Wrath of the Dryad is a good tool to allow the Sands to continuously proc the duality passive, but it is going to be a difficult task for Suns for sure.
See if he's able to do it. This first turtle's up. Both gold laners going to go ahead and chill in the gold lane while this is just going to be a 4v4. Niall's going to go ahead and grab his buff, but they might just go for this. A little bit of a taunt. Unbreakable on Keyboy. He's got to go ahead and back off, disengage. Alutbi has got the Consecrate. They got control of this first turtle, so Onic might be able to secure this. Let's see if they make it happen. Kyrie able to get the Retribution off, but they're going to go for the fight anyway, and Luffy trying to get away. He's going to get chased down, and they will take him with the Daytonas. Welcome. Oh, good duality, but here comes Niall to the back line. He's got people lined up, but it's just not enough. And now the diversion going to be used. Already a couple kills for Onic. They're looking for Niall, and Sands will get him with the double.
No way Suns just did just that. I mean, 2-0-1 for this Luyi. Granted, BTR, I think that was a mistake coming out from Shogun. Utilizing the Daytona's welcome and then spitting out the Uranus towards the members of Onic. I think he wanted to maximize the stun that you get out of it, or maybe he just outright misplaced his spit afterwards. But that allowed Onic to refresh with Lutpi. And of course, the Bats staying in front for a long time means that the duality, dispersion, the damage output of Suns will be just really high because you're just constantly throwing away your orbs, and the rotation that you get with the second skill of the Luyi. Combine that together, your backlines are getting ricocheted so much that they end up just being blown away by Suns, which is literally what happened in there. And then the teleport afterwards, my god, Luyi coming on from Suns, that guy's scary.
I think the Luyi is going to just be a pickup that we see more and more, maybe even unless some major changes happen between now and the next tournaments, of course, but it's working out really well, especially when you have the Wrath of the Dryad from the Velric. It just makes things happen. Look at this. They're going for the purple buff. They want to put pressure on Niall's buff, and they'll do just that. Notice to Kyrie on the Hirara, he locked in his Fury Hammer then he's starting to just go with the Sky Piercer because he wants to start building stacks early on, I believe, and that's all possible. You know, you got an early kill on, you got momentum in your favor, you're 3,000 gold ahead at this point, and now the second turtle is up. Kyrie, go ahead and start this one up. Emon is here though, so now gold laners will be a part of this fight. Everybody rotating down for this objective. Half health on the turtle, unbreakable. Oh, Daytona's welcome, gonna be charged in. Shogun taking quite a bit of damage. Is it the Avatar of the Guardian? Actually, that's quite a bit of damage too as Shogun falls. Nile gets the turtle. He's going to be able to go ahead and do a bit of damage before he gets out, but Bigetron by Vitality might have got the turtle, but they lost two.
I see the vision now for BTR. They will go for the aggressive move on Shogun with the Daytona's welcome that was going to be quickly followed up by the Avatar of the Guardian. Not literally quickly, but it will be layered properly wherein after the Daytona's welcome, you already have that Avatar of the Guardian with extra knockup and taunt afterwards. It's a chain stun between the Barons as well as they cannot catch us. They go in bottom lane.
Okay, Keyboy unfortunately going to die there, but it made sense what Onic wanted to do. They give a kill over, and they didn't overcommit because I thought Kyrie with a couple stacks might have tried to do something, but they just kind of pull off there. That turret's almost down. That's one of the main things that Onic wanted to go ahead and do, give Kelra that advantage. You can already see the advantage building up, though, too, in the jungle, man. Kyrie, again, a couple levels ahead right now of Nile. He's been taking his buffs. He's about to hit that level 10, and he continues to do so. Just as he does, he hits level 10. So that gives him, again, an advantage that he can work with into the next turtle. But so far, Nile at least has been able to swing in, do a little bit. Threat like this on Sands, even doing more than a little bit as he takes him out. Good play there. I didn't know if he'd be able to get him that fast, but he does.
Well, with the help of his teammates and, of course, the fact that you have a lot of damage coming out from Moreno, especially if that Astral Echo is already laid up, that allowed for BTR to burst down Suns and shut him down. Has been a problem for them for quite a while now. 6 minutes in, there's a lead that Onic have already built, and it's 15 seconds before the next turtle. Lutpi already clearing the mid, whereas Keyboy, he wants to position aggressively as well up top. Maybe help his teammate Kelra here push before they prep for the turtle.
Yeah, so they got that push going in. Last turtle of the game is up. Still a couple thousand gold ahead right now is Onic. Kyrie has control of this turtle. We'll see if they do anything, but Nile's just going to go down to the bot. They're going to trade it for a turret for the turtle. So they go for that. Diversion going to be used. This is what we were talking about, though. They send themselves down towards this bottom side, but that turret will be pushed. So this is about as good as it gets for Bigetron by Vitality right now. Daytona's welcome into the turret. Astral Echo combo. The Avatar of the Guardian will be able to catch him, even with a revitalized Keyboy falls. The tree down again, but now in mid lane, Kyrie's there. They get the duality proc. He wants to get the stack here on Shogun. Does he actually have it? He doesn't. He has to get away. Too much of a threat there under the turret.
See the pressure now being applied by Onic, and because of that they have a 2,000 gold lead, but it seems like BTR are not letting up. They're already able to push down the bottom lane and are about to push up top. Eman is moving really well. Comes to the map movements, died already twice, but at least makes up for it by split pushing and still gaining a lot of gold. He is unfortunately behind Kelra, his counterpart, but at least he's making something happen for BTR right now. Doesn't erase the fact that Onic is leading by 2,000 and they have allowed Kelra with 1-0-1 as they go for Kyrie the dodge!
Oh, he tried to dodge. What a play from Nile and Emon. Able to make a move. Nile trying to get away. A flicker from Sans. They'll recoup it, though, as they also take down Emon. And that kill went over to Kyrie, so... but he's dead. But, you know, the turret did the job there for him.
Yeah. Eventually. I'm going to be pushing in the middle. Great kill of the Kyrie. A great shutdown overall coming out from BTR. 22 seconds before the Lord, they needed to make a play. Unfortunately for Niall, is still trailing behind a lot from his opposition right now. So there's still a lot that needs to be done here by the side of BTR for them to come back to this game. But then again, Keyboy already positioned himself into the so-called new bush. Will be spotted out by Finn for now.
Okay. Lord is up. Let's see some of the focus here. Let's see what Onic decides to do. They can play the macro just because they have the Louis in tow. Both junglers wanting to grab their purple buffs, getting situated. for this Lord fight. Oh, diversion. Diversion used here, setting them up top. Astral Echo being dropped down. They're just going to go for the fight anyway. Kyrie be able to dodge that with the iframe. Niall's going to have to go back to base, so this is an open opportunity for Onic to go ahead and start up this Lord. Under half health, Shogun gives the information. Finn's going to pop the conceal. They're going to try to delay this so that Niall can get here in time, but it's already gone. Lord secured by Onic. And now Niall jumping into the backside, looking for a possible kill. He'll find Sans. A pickup there they were looking for, and now Niall again cabling away. Avatar the Guardian, Finn trying to grab their attention. Akela takes a shot with the shatter. He's going to back off, but they're going to force the fight anyway. And now it's Onic trying to get away, but Daytona's welcome to spin him up into the team. And now Keyboy and Loopy fall. The front line of Onic goes down.
Oh, great team fighting coming out from BTR. They have erased the lead that Onic was able to build, and it didn't matter if Onic was able to blitz the Lord away from them. Their team fighting was great. And at that time, Kera didn't have the flicker, so he didn't feel that confident to command his team into a fight. And Lutpi as well as Keyboy just overstayed their welcome. And BTR utilizing Shogun again, this time offensively. I feel like for BTR, if they play like this, if they are the ones to jump the gun onto Onic, there's little to nothing that Onic can do. Again, their lineup is more of a dive composition, and with the vision that they get from Moreno, they are well informed about what Onic will want to do. Look at that ultimate catching 4. The Astral Echo finding out what Onic wanted to do, and that already meant that Niall was able to skitter through and sneak a purple buff.
Oh, wow. Talk about a turnaround so far. Niall able to make something happen here again. Just able to shred through, you know, who you'd think is the tankiest or one of the tankiest, but so far both Lutpi and Keyboy had a really difficult time at some, fronting up on this front side for Onic. Might have to be in one of those cases where now you lean towards Kelra here if you're Onic to go ahead, and he should have his power spike. I mean, that Kelra's carry should be online, but it's more so of these fights, the way they're unfolding. They're just kind of getting outplayed by Bigetron by Vitality.
Yeah, sure. This makes it really difficult now for Onic. With the composition that Vitality has, this is very oppressive. You really have to find a way to get to the Novaria, which we said that we'll have a free game essentially in this game, and it has been so. Moreno is 2-0-4. There's not much that can contest him. And then eventually Shogun will be so tanky that he is no longer threatened by the damage of Onic. Well, Kelra is always going to be a threat, but you are tanky enough that you expose Kelra for far too long. So there has to be a creative way of Onic finding an angle to eventually take out BTR. Otherwise, it's going to be easier for BTR to maneuver into the fights. They're already going for the diversion play, but they're not going to find anyone.
Well, they'll find Kyrie's buff anyway. So he's not going to have that. The Lord comes up. Emon will make his way slowly down here. The rest of the team already set up, but you can see in this, man, the Star Shatters, even on Loopy, already do a decent chunk of damage to the health bars. Moreno dropping down the Astral Echo. Extra hitboxes being extended here too. Now Keyboy, he's got to be careful because we've already seen him shredded down so quickly on this Belric, especially with a Fanny flying around. Emon spotting the Loopy here. They might try to make a play instead of the Lord. Right now Onic on the back front. They got to go ahead. Keyboy, oh man, a quarter of the health.
Yeah. Whew. And Niall is already working on the Lord this time. He's low. But be careful. Kyrie forced to pop one of the iframes. You can see how menacing Eman is right now with this Paquito. He's going to be able to burst down the members of Onic. And then if you pair that up with Moreno's damage output and the constant Astral Echo in the face of Onic, it's going to be more difficult.
Avatar the Guardian on the defense already used. Onic comes in with a diversion. And after that push up top by Niall, that wave's going to be managed now. They're going to fight for this Lord. Half health on it. Finn charging up the Unbreakable. Goes in with a taunt. They're going to come down for Keyboy. They get him out. Kyrie, he's down too. Make it another as Sans is able to pick up Shogun. So far, a big trade across the board. But now Iman and Moreno trying to keep things together while Niall's also on the hunt here. He's quite low, but he'll be able to secure the Lord. Bigetron by Vitality comes out with a win.
And all they had to do was to find the man advantage. And it was already enough for them to take on the members of Onic. This time again, Onic just can't position themselves properly. They tried to go for a cheeky diversion play, which was, with all due fairness, ambitious but almost got there. Almost taking out the outplay coming out from Suns to survive against Nael. But that was just for BTR to secure that turret because it will be just the Luyi to defend. And wasn't successful in doing so. Onic now have lost control of the game as BTR are leading by 3,000. And all it took was for them to punish Onic when Onic tried to go for a 5v5 against them.
Let's see if they can do it here. Lord slowly making its way. Good push in the mid and top as well. Daytona's welcome. Throwing it in the wall. Chopping him up, throwing him down. Keyboy gonna pop the Revitalize. They want to hold down this front side. Niall's just gonna make his way up top. He wants to take out the base turret as Lord goes down and dealt with, but good response from Kyrie. He won't let it happen. Diversion. Where are they gonna go? Into the jungle. They're looking to cut things off. They're gonna go right to this one. And now Finn gets taken out. But Emon, is he gonna try to do this? Oh no, he's fully stacked up. He's gotta get out of enemy lines. He's waiting patiently. It's only Loot B.
For now, it's not a big threat. Information is important. Loot B gonna be seeing Eman get away from there. Good fight coming up from Onic. Go for the -1, but it's not nearly enough. Nail wants a piece of this purple buff. They're trying to go for the exchange, but it's Kyrie who secures it.
Thanks for the leash, says Kyrie. He's basically do a little damage with the buff. Finally, Kyrie gets his purple. He's going to go ahead and grab his orange next. Yeah. Really nothing that they really want to focus on until that Lord comes up in about a minute, but if... Maybe if they can get a kill here. Maybe if they can get a kill, make something happen. Again, Lord's not going to be up for 40.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time for both teams to recover this one. Kyrie going in for the Blade of Despair as his 5th full item in this game. Lutpi actually went for the Sky Guardian helmet, which I wanted to talk about earlier, which is interesting because you generally want resistance rather than raw HP as well as regeneration because you have plenty of that anyways. But I guess because of the amount of poke that BTR is throwing at him, it feels like, okay, maybe during long team fights, during Lord dances, maybe I can get out of the fight, regen up by myself, then try to fight another day. But now in comes the Lord, spawned at 17 minutes. Onic will defend their bottom lane. A little bit of long lane setup out there coming out from Lutpi. Diversion gonna be used. And BTR just...
They want to go for Shogun. They're going to go right for Shogun. He didn't have the stacks. And now he's taken out. They're going to go and Dissipate. Kelra's got the room to work with here. But oh, Niall goes in. Moreno will cap out the kill even with a Wind of Nature. So BTR turns it around to fall. They're going to be looking for more. They're chasing down Kyrie. Moreno might be able to get a shot. Niall's going to go ahead and join in. Cable's not going to connect on that one. That's not where he wanted, but he gets Loot B anyway. BTR will win that fight. And it was one that Onic started for Shogun. Niall jumping in. He takes out Keyboy like cutting down a tree. And now it's only Kyrie to watch the base turret down. He's got to try to dodge, but he can't. They get wiped out. And BTR will take game 1.